Hello, hello, hello. My name is Andrew. I am making this video because Insomniac claims they want to listen to their fans before they release another update before the end of the year. Apparently it's going to be a big one and different stuff like that. So I made a pros and cons list of this game. I've beaten it, got the platinum trophy, went through the whole thing. Currently going back through in the ultimate difficulty, and I just need to stop and take a second and go through this list. And to be fair, this is my uneducated opinion. I'm just a true red fan, not blue, of Spider-Man. I love the series. I love the movie. I love Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero, period. I love everything about it. And leading up to this game.
Listeners, you know me. I don't fabricate information just because of my personal leanings. When I'm
Yeah.
hearing, I take
Sure,
no
he
pleasure
doesn't.
in delivering it.
Sorry, I love
But
listening to
it's
these
my
things.
duty to report it nonetheless.
Okay, I swing
Seems the
around.
newer Spider-Man has gone missing. Now we can all agree these vigilantes need to be brought to justice. But it seems that may never come to pass. A trusted source claims they saw firsthand Spider-Man captured by the Hunters. Now their track record speaks for itself. Should the worst befall this young man, I will be the last person to say, I told you so. Even though I was the first person to say it. Despite my campaign against these dangers to society, I don't wish harm on any other human being. So let us all come together and hope for Spider-Man's sake that he survives this ordeal, so he can face the courts and the punitive justice he deserves.
Okay, so while I'm doing this little fight thing, I'm gonna go over some stuff. So, like I said, I made this thing specifically in response to Insomniac swearing that they won't listen to their fans before they make another game. That's their goal. They want to actually get feedback before they go through. So that's what they also said about the Venom sequel and all that stuff.
Guess they couldn't
Cool.
handle the heat.
Alright. I'm gonna get away from everything so there's less noise. Alright. So, to start off, I'm gonna go with the cons first. And I'm gonna go down a little list, different stuff. Hopefully this video is not gonna be longer than 20 minutes, but I'll start with that and then I'll go with pros. And I'm just doing this off the cuff, there's no editing, I'm just recording this. Alright. So, biggest problem that I have, the biggest problem that Spider-Man 2 has is the camera during fights, especially during the Martin Lee fight, the first half when you're in the arena with Craven, where he's trying to make y'all fight to the death. First part where you're actually fighting in the arena, not inside yourself. The camera gets so stuck on the walls to the point, like, he'll come close to you to attack you, and you're too close to the wall, and the camera cannot figure out. Even if you turn the combat camera off, it just can't handle it. It straight up cannot handle the closeness and the different stuff. It doesn't track, and then you try to move left and right, it doesn't work. Now you can't see, boom, die instantly. It's so stupid, especially in the ultimate difficulty because it takes so much more damage. Like, it is ridiculous how much it takes to just fight the camera in those fights. And the Craven thing, when you're out in the woods fighting them, you have to disable gotta stickify the bells so you can actually fight. It does the exact same thing there with all the trees. It just gets stuck. As the biggest problem with this game, because it just makes it so frustrating. Those two, it happens hard in those, but it happens randomly while you're just doing stuff like that arson thing I just did, or just any kind of random combat. Like the Marco things where they're in those alleyways usually. You can just get stuck on the walls. And then I've actually had the game crash a few times because even when you come back after you die, it stutters and can't handle it. My next big complaint, really big complaint, is the Emily May Foundation. What the heck, guys? I'm so mad. I'm guessing a bunch of people complained that the fee centers took too long, or you spent too much time in them, having to get in and out, and yada yada. But I loved that. It made the gameplay take longer. And also on this, how is it that there were more research stations in the first game than there were actual Emily May Foundation stations This is his actual foundation that he made. How are there more stations in the first game? Oh, it's just a startup. Yeah, it's Oscorp money. Don't give me that. I don't even want to hear that. And on top of that, I'm really mad that I only got to go there the one time before it got destroyed. Like, I would have loved to gone back and done different things, because there are a couple things. Like, there's a station I know for a fact to the right of what looks like an MRI machine. It's like, this looks like this would take too long. I have to come back and do this later. And you never get the chance to go back in the building. I tried. I've searched around the whole thing. I looked. I was on the roof, front door. Like, there's no way to go back a second time. I would have absolutely loved to explore the facilities again. Gone around and talked to the people. You clearly cared. You put so much time and effort into their character models and the speeches and all the different stuff. I would have loved to have done that. And on top of that, with the koi fish part, there should have been a fish thing. Like, yeah, the bees, it's so cool, yeah. But there should have been other things besides just researching for the bees and stuff. There was the one with the plants, and that was it. There should have been one with the fish. That would have been awesome. And would have gone along with this story, because we've done fish missions before in the previous games. I don't understand that. Like, that was my biggest complaint. I love the Emily May Foundation.
Okay. One Spider-Man is missing.
Yes.
The other is not himself. So what can we do?
Pray.
I always say, the Spider-Men inspire us to be our best selves.
Let her finish before I continue.
Well, it's time to prove that isn't just words. New York needs us. Spider-Man needs us. Remember friend of the pod, Dennis? Savior of the subway? Dennis is out there right now, leading a search party, 50 people strong, looking for the missing Spider-Man. And dang it, I am wrapping early today so I can join him. Check my socials for the meetup deets. We gotta do something, folks. Come on. Let's be heroes.
I love the podcast. I love the Danica podcast. I love the J. Jonah Jameson podcast. And now I'll segue into my next complaint. I don't like that I can't go back and re-listen to those like I was able to do in Spider-Man with the J. Jonah Jamesons and in Miles Morales with the Danica podcast. Because too often, especially with the web wings in this game, I get there too fast, or I get caught doing a different project and they get cut off. Because, like, even if I'm not doing anything like a high-speed chase, the car may just be driving underneath me and I'm just trying to fly past it, but because it got close, it cuts the podcast off and I don't get to hear what they say. And I hate that because they go along with the games. They go along with the story. They update you, make it that you put so much time and effort into making them and writing the scripts and having the voice recordings. I like those things. I want to hear those. So either make it to where it feels like it takes longer to get to where I'm going so I can actually enjoy those, or pad the game out more, because that's one thing that isn't in here from, like, not being able to do the Emily May Foundation, not walking around more. What's her name? MJ missions aren't as long, and there aren't as many. I don't understand why I want to be able to enjoy these things. You put so much time and effort into these little things. Let me be able to enjoy that. Or if nothing else, be able to go back and enjoy it by listening to it again. Not everyone's going to like that, but that's something I like. It doesn't even have to be considered a collectible. And to that end, I would also say there are too many web wings. And by that I mean it's used too heavily. And the swing has taken such a dive in speed. You're like, oh yeah, but you upgrade the speed of your swing through traversals. Okay, you know what sucks about that? I have to get to basically the end of the game before that's fully upgraded, and then there's nothing to do around the town really. There's not a huge variety of crimes to do like there is in the original Spider-Man, between the prisoners and then the thugs and then not the symbiotes, the Sable people, and like there's just so many different types of crimes that can happen that there end up being a variety of things to do, and then each of those have their own little, like, 2 or 3 side objectives that ended up being something. Now there's only like one, and it's basically like the same 5 crimes over and over, and it takes like 3 minutes. in between each one. It's probably not that long, but it is at least 90 seconds of flying around or swinging around trying to find somebody. Trying to just wait for a crime to activate. That happens, unfortunately, so hard near the end of the game, which is the only time you get to use that swing. And it's just like, well, what was the point of this? Why is it when I use the web wings in the game, even without the wind tunnels, you can visually see how much faster the numbers go down, like trying to get somewhere, whether it's this point or a custom waypoint. You can visually see how much faster it is to use the web wings. And don't get me wrong, there's a cool, I like them. They're a really cool thing. It's such a far back throwback call out. I love it. Such a good reference. But it's just focused on way too hard to where now swinging for Spider-Man is just so slow. That's one of the best, most relaxing parts of the last two games. It's just being able to swing through the city at times. Ouch, just, gosh, what a waste of time it is in this one trying to swing anywhere. Like you just used a little too hard. Swinging took too big of a dive. I don't appreciate that. And as I was going on a second ago about all the different little objectives when fighting, I don't think there's enough trophies in this game. There's not a trophy for New Game Plus, which is not a setting in this game yet, which there should have been, because there's an ultimate difficulty. Why give me a new difficulty to unlock if there's not a New Game Plus? Ugh, that's a whole... I'll get back. I'll swing back around to that. But there's not enough trophies in this game. There's not one for New Game Plus. There's not one for doing the ultimate difficulty. There's not one for doing all the little side objectives for all the crimes out in the world. There's not one for doing the objectives at the Sable Hunter Blinds or at the bases or just stuff like that. Like, there's so many little things I feel like there should have been trophies for that there wasn't. Like, there's not a trophy for getting all the underground or hunter caches that are around the boxes. Well, the tech parts and rare tech parts, there's not a trophy for that. I just feel like there should have been more in that regard. Just not even for like rewards or stats and all that. Nah, I just feel like there should have been more trophies. Just feels like there's a ball missing there. You missed something. I don't like it. This doesn't feel right. Alright, my next point. Why are there not more gadgets? What happened to all of Peter's gadgets? It made sense in Miles Morales why there wasn't that many gadgets. Because, you know, Peter gave him a web shooter. He had to come up with a couple of his own things. You know, he's still figuring it out. It made sense why there weren't that many gadgets. What the heck happened to my impact webs? What happened to my web bombs? What happened to my electric webs? What happened to my gravity thing? What happened to all my stinking stuff? I'm so mad about it. Because at the end of the game, I have like all these tech parts left over after upgrading everything because I've gone around and gotten all the caches. I've gone around, actually done the objectives. You trying to do a crime and try and knock stuff out, and you just rack up because there's so much. So why don't I have more gadgets that I could switch out like abilities so I could actually keep upgrading them? True, there's not any more hero tokens once you beat the game, but I mean, I have all these tech and rare tech parts.
Can't forget about Lee.
Shut up.
Yankee said he was seen near Feast.
I know, shut up. Let me be able to change that out, please. Like, there just needs to be more gadgets. And to that end, there also needs to be more stuff like Coney Island. I loved the Coney Island side mission. It was so much fun. It doesn't need to necessarily be like Peter Parker, why didn't Miles have something? Or like that could be like a little thing you could go do. Like you show up and you have to change, or you walk around slowly as the normal cells. But that'd be something just to be able to walk around and enjoy it. I think that'd be such a cool thing, just to add that in. Because then it's an elective. If people want to go waste time, they can go waste time. They can go ride the roller coaster during the day. They can go enjoy it however much they want. It's up to them. They can go watch a baseball game and sit down and like you can't like give them any seat. Like you said, you go to a game, it can be like just a 3-4 seats they can change between, like behind the dugout, all this different stuff. I think that'd be so cool. And also I feel like there needs to be, speaking of Genki, there needs to be more Genki. Like what the heck? I understand this is, you know, Spider-Man 2. It's got both of them, but for as much as MJ is in this one. Honestly, I feel like there should be more Genki. Like, there's more Haley than there is Genki. I don't get that. I also don't like how much Miles' mom Rio is not in this game. I love her character. I love her to death. I really wanted to see more of her councilwoman, yes, involved in like Harlem and the different things. Like, yeah, we have the little museum mission, and I love that mission. There needs to be more missions like that. There needs to be more things like that in this game to stretch it out a little bit farther. And the Brooklyn Visions missions, why did that never amount to anything? Never actually got to meet the professor. I'm upset with that. It really just feels like this game got Sonified or PlayStationed. And what I mean by that is Insomniac has always been able to keep an arm's reach because there was a partnership. They weren't actually a thing. Now they're owned by them. And Ratchet and Clank kind of similar thing to where it just felt bleh. You know, give you the best example from Ratchet and Clank. It was the exact same mini boss over and over and over again. That was one of the best parts about any of the Ratchet and Clank, starting from the beginning, going Commando up your arsenal, Deadlocked, all Tools of Destruction, Quest for Booty, Crack and Time, all of them, literally all of them. Nexus, literally every single one. There was a variety of enemies. They were beautiful. This one, PS5's grand display. Yeah, I know they're trying to focus on the rifts and the load times, but literally it was the same mini boss over and over and over and over and over. And it didn't matter what planet you're on, didn't matter what character you used, didn't matter where you were in the game, it was the exact same boss. Oh, and you just got so bad because they literally just can't. Oh yeah, jump, shoot, jump, shoot. Oh yeah, wow, he died in 30 seconds. Holy crap, that's crazy. Like, I know how to beat him because I've overdone it. The heart and soul of Insomniac was not in that game as much as it should have been expected from me and Ratchet and Clank, because Ratchet and Clank is, in my opinion, the most beloved of the classic generation. Yeah, everyone loves Jack and Daxter. That's why it gets remade and the others don't. And everyone loves Sly Cooper. It's so artistic. But Ratchet and Clank is where the fan base was. That's why they remade it and just dropped the ball so hard on that. And in this case, it's not the fact that there's not a lot of heart and soul in this game, because they clearly love this game, put the detail into it, do small things like pigeons showing up, and then do other small things like where there's people inside the windows of each building, like doing something, cooking, you exercising, doing a different thing. There's clearly love for this game in this title for Spider-Man, but I don't understand how to best explain it. What I mean by heart. Let's see. The Howard mission. I love that mission so much. That's one of my absolute pros. I love the Howard mission so much. Thank you for that mission, Insomniac. I can't tell you how many times over the years I've swung around New York chasing those damn pigeons. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times I've chased those stinking pigeons. Ah, gosh. They get away from me too. They really do. Thank God you can swing fast in those games. If I had this swing speed, I never would have caught it. Oh gosh, but thank you so much for that. And that's what I mean, like, by heart and soul in this game. I love that. I love those things. And then another point what I mean by Sonified is, this is the third game in this series. Insomniac has always been good about keeping games in sets of 3. Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, both times, the old and the future generation. Sly Cooper's, like, they're good at keeping sets of 3. You know, there's like the fourth Sly Cooper, that was his own thing on a different generation, Quest for Booty, little things like that. Ratchet Deadlock, Secret Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, there's little dips in there, like little spin-offs and slights, but as far as like main titles, I don't want to see a Spider-Man 3. I don't want to go through that emotional roller coaster again. I'm getting up there in my age, unfortunately, because I love this game. I want to keep supporting Insomniac and keep supporting this title and keep supporting this brand, honestly. But it's just like Horizon Forbidden West or Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn built Horizon Forbidden West up like it was going to be the last game. And Horizon Forbidden West built it up the entire game like it was going to be, like, this is it? Until literally you beat Glinda, or Gilda, whatever you want, however you say her name. Until you beat her, and then it's like, actually there's a thing in space coming. That's why they're here, actually. And you're like, really? Another game, more money, more weight. Yay. I want to see DLCs. I would like this game to be like 250 gigabytes on my hard drive at the end of it all. I'd like to see a DLC for Peter where it's like Carnage that involves, what's her name? Yuri. I'd like to see that. And then I'd like to see a DLC for Miles being like the Spider-Verse and different stuff. And then there could be another one that includes both of them. And that should be the final chapter with Otto Octavius and Norman, which is clearly, Green Goblin. But I want that. I don't want another game. I don't want this. And because that's where they get PlayStation 5. That's where they're Sony 5. Another title. That's more the PlayStation than Sony. But another title so we can bilk it out and suck our fans out of emotions and money because we don't actually care. And that's where they lose the heart. And that's where I would like Insomniac to fight for this game. They clearly put so much time into it. It's been like you clearly have you have the fan base. You know you do. This is the game release of the year, right next to Starfield. No questions asked. No one can argue. Just facts. That's how big this game has been. I can't tell you how long I've been waiting for this. It got delayed after delayed, which I appreciated because I thought you were gonna put more time in it, but it just feels like you were put out 90% of the game, and now you're just. I appreciate you saying you want to get feedback from the fans, but that's where you also got PlayStation 5. This game's not done. This game's not done. And it's got so many small bugs that all the other games have. Like the camera problem. God of War had the exact same problem with all the Berserker missions where it forces you in that little arena. It can't handle being next to those walls. It really can't. It doesn't like the character model being next to those walls. It'll actually force you a little back in towards the circle. From all the times I've played through that. It's very annoying. Horizon Forbidden West had a few glitches to where you'd fall through the floor. I know, like the first time I faced that Tide Ripper in the cave, I literally fell through the floor and there was nothing I could do. It just killed me. And like I couldn't even fight the dang thing. And there's just so many little problems like that. And I'm just like, come on, Insomniac, please fight for your fans. Do better. You have the power. You do. You're a partnership that they knew had so much potential they bought you. Acquired you. However you want to say it. You can do it. And then my last thing, I'm just going to go through real quick, just some bullet points. Podcast, can't re-listen, already said that. The bases, I'm upset I can't replay them, like the Hunter Blinds, the Symbiote Nest. I understand maybe not the Sandman things because they actually made a crystal that you give to the daughter. That makes sense. But no, that was one of the best parts of the old games, being able to replay the Roxxon, the Underground, Fisk construction sites, all those things, being able to replay them. I love doing that. Some of my favorite things, just sometimes you want good combat, especially from where the crimes in this thing spawn like every 90 seconds to 3 minutes trying to find something. It's really nice being able to just, hey, I want to go fight somebody, and then go back and fight them. And it shouldn't have to always be the Mysteriums just playing as Miles. Because sometimes you just want to fight as Peter. But I do like the Mysteriums. Don't change that.
Genki said Lee was spotted near Feast. Gotta check it out.
And then my last thing is just, like I said before, stretching it out. There should be more research stations. I should be able to go to EMF more often. That Brooklyn's Vision thing should have panned out for Miles. And then also, when I mean pad out, is like there's so many times in the first one where it's like, alright, well I'm waiting on them, I'm waiting to get feedback, let's swing around the city and see what's up. It only happens like 2 times in this game. But that's enough negative. Let's talk about positive. I love this game. I love Venom. I love this suit. I love my number one thank you was Howard. My number 2 is the intensity. I know a lot of people are like, is Spider-Man killing people? Oh my gosh, it's so violent and gross. Thank you. It's Venom. Now, what did you think was going to happen? That is Venom. Venom is gruesome. Venom is vicious. Venom is intense. Thank you so much. Oh my God, this is an emotionally roller coaster of an intense game. Thank you. I loved it. I was playing the main story mission so hard, I had to force myself to stop and do the symbiote nests. because I wanted to know. I gotta do this. I gotta see it getting to play as Venom. Holy, that was awesome. Thank you for that. I don't want a Venom sequel. We literally saw Venom disappear at the end of the game. Don't do it. Maybe you want like a pre-sequel where you're the characters and not Venom. Explain how he got there, but we know how he showed up. Explains it in this game. I also love the multiple skill trees and all the different things. I love how you did it this time. That is fantastic. I love the old one too, but I love the skill trees. It's really cool. I already brought it up before, but I love the small things. Like, here, we'll go and find one real quick. Like the people hiding in the window. Here, right here, right here. That. Love the Spider-Man dolls throughout the world. Love that cameo. But yeah, I just love people like in their apartments doing stuff, working, getting stuff done. I know a lot of times it repeats over and over. Yeah, I get that, but look at this. 4 different things right there. See, there's the repeat. But I love that. It's so cool. Like, that's where I said earlier, you put heart and soul into this game. That's an example of it. That's a literal proof of the heart and soul that you put into this game. Look at the detail on his suit. You want to talk? Let's get in the light over here. Look at the detail on this suit, my guy. There's veins in the lenses. Look at that. That is some next level detail they did not have to do. They put so much love into... Oh, one color I forgot to say. That's what it was. Suits. Enough with the colors. I miss my just actual suits variations. Alright, back to pros. I love these web wings. They're so much fun. And they get around the city so fast. And I love the slight new abilities for traversal. Like this. Love this thing. Gosh, it's such a rocket launcher. And you combine that with this. And then also, I love this one. This is my favorite ability for the game. Such a classic Spider-Man bit. Launching yourself like that. I love the fact it's actually something we can do now in the game. So cool. Trees, still my absolute favorite thing to freaking swing off of. I love the trees. But, and then going back to the Venom thing, thank you for how you told the story in this game too. It is great. Like I said before, I wish there were some more of certain characters. But as far as like an actual game, oh my god, Craven! I watched every single series that was available for this, like for Spider-Man before this. I replayed both games to death. I played Alternate Spider-Man. I played Web of Shadows. I played Spider-Man 2 and 3. I replayed everything coming up to this game, and I rewatched all the old animated series for this. And there's the one from the 90s that had Craven. I had no idea how y'all were going to use him coming in. Because all I saw was, he was an accident kind of like Peter. There's so many accidents and everything. His accident like Peter was eugenics and trying to figure out how to do that. This time, he's an oligarch who's just awesome. And oh my gosh, I was not ready for everyone to be hunted down and killed. That was another version of this game being intense, but I loved it. Like, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that was so much to watch. And then Venom and him go, it's like I'm literally lost for words. That's just how much I loved it. It was just so great. Thank you so much for, like, that's where you also have heart put into the thing. There's just so much love in this game. And I gotta say, I love the fact that you kept Carnage. Thank you for keeping that in there. I was really hoping that would be the case when I saw Venom. Okay. Why'd they say anything? As soon as they said something, I caught them. That was their own fault. And caught. See, why did he throw a web bomb there, but I can't use a web bomb with the gag? Alright, some quick tech points. Anyways.
I've got no patience for this today.
I also love, this is a great segue into my next point, I love the spider bots. I think they're just so adorable. I love everything about them. Come on, Peter. Thank you. What the? Peter! Stop it! Stop it! That's what I mean by the web wings being a little too overused. That happens a lot. I was so close to it. It should have pressed extra. Miles, that wouldn't have been a problem. Actually, that's probably not true. Miles also has weapon, but still, like, that should not be an issue. If I'm that close and looking at it, should not be opening web wings. But back to pros. I love the cameos and stuff from the old games, like Howard, the Underground Cache, different things like that. Absolutely awesome. I love the detail in the city. But sometimes, like that building right there, you can see where it's a little bit low. But now that, like, I'm here and it's loaded, it looks a lot better. But while swinging, I love MJ's missions. They're so different. They're not nearly as slow. I actually wish there were more of them. That's how fun they are. I love her little taser gun. I love the web shooter attachment that she put on it. I love everything about it. I love the water effects in this game. I love being able to swim from the to the different burrows. I love being able to do this. One request, not so much a complaint, is I wish it was a setting where I could turn the rings off. Like, as I know we have the quick select settings now with the D-pad, I wish that was a setting where I could turn that off visually. And then also, I wish that the Spider-Verse settings, I wish those were part of the. I wish those were quick select available. Like, you know, with the simple fade to black and come back in, and they be on real fast. I wish that was the thing. But I love the fact that they're just a normal setting now, and not like and they're not suit mods. Because that was really annoying in the old games. I love the fact that got changed to just the setting. I love the lighting effects. I love the bridges. I love the things on the water. I love the birds. So much love in this game. So much time was put into this game. So many heart was put into this game. I love it. Thank you for it. I love it so much. Thank you. Although I do wish that I'm guessing, I'm hoping, you know, if there's DLCs instead of a third game, Wilson Fisk is brought into it somehow. Like, he's just involved, ha ha ha. Maybe like his Fearsome 5 that he made back in that 90s thing, you know, where he gets all the different people together. Well, you're not gonna do it now because everyone's dead, but you know what I mean. Like him, Ox, Green Goblin / Norman. I'd love to see it just come to a massive head in a DLC. I don't want another game. I'd love a DLC. I just love this. I've waited for it so long. I played through it so many times already. Well, it's only 1.5, but I will be playing through this game so much as the years pass by. I love Spider-Man. I love the detail of his suit as he goes on, it gets darker and darker. I love Doc Connors. I love the Lizard. After going back and watching all those series, I got such a fondness for Doc Connors. When Craven put that thing in his neck, I was like, oh my god, no, Doc! No! No, not Doc! No! He was the man, bro. He helped Peter out so many times with the eugenics treatments and trying to keep him stable from turning that man spider, which I love that reference. There's so many references to the series throughout this game. I'm so happy I decided to get, you know, Disney Plus and go back and actually bought the original series from the 60s and went back and watched them. I love the fact I did that because it added so much more depth to these games for me. I added so many more references I was able to understand. And going back and playing Miles Morales and the first Spider-Man, there's so many more references I had then understood from watching those. Okay, this has been going on long enough. Definitely. Yeah, my original goal was 20 minutes. I've gone on 35 minutes. Thank y'all so much for listening. I pray that this gets to Insomniac, and even if one person there listens even to a little bit of this, it was worth it. Thank you so much for taking the time. If this ever does even get any views, thank you. I love this game. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Thank you.